Love it.
That is for our dear friend Benny Kaufman at the Coffee Company. Folks, we hope you enjoyed that new intro as much as we have. I know I've seen it about 20 times. How about you, Kuv?
Yeah, I've watched it a few times. It's good.
A couple of times. It's great. It's perfect for us. Welcome back to another episode of Kuv The Kang. Kuv The Kang. Don't even know our own show name here, Kuv. So we're going to be one of those days. I'm so distracted.
It's always one of those days.
Fair enough. I'm just overwhelmed by all this new stuff that Benny gave us, new backdrop and everything, and having us looking sharp. So, Benny, if you're out there, thank you, brother. And it's cool. How's things, buddy? You all right? You doing good?
Oh, you're doing this one again.
Yeah,
it doesn't work. We're not the same distance. So.
No, do I move?
Okay,
right there. Right, yeah. Okay, we're good there. Yeah. Okay, we're good. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We're good. Yeah, we're done. That was awesome. But we do have two very special guests joining us today, as you've seen in the title, but we lost one already. We had tech issues to start the show, so obviously we have tech issues as we continue. Welcome the man known as the finger champion of the YouTube community, the man with the strongest fingers in the world. He can lift a car, he can lift a bus, he can lift a damn train with them things. Mr. Brian Dagil from Tottenham on tour in the house. Big up, Brian.
Do you know what? These introductions I'm getting across the YouTube circuit are just incredible. If I ever have my my charity fight with Mr. Levy, I don't know who I want to do my intro. I don't know. It's getting so good. The bar is being raised, and that was a great one.
There's only one person that could do your intro.
Okay. It's been incredible, and it is fantastic to finally make my debut on your brand new show, Kuv The Gang. Kuv The Kang. Sorry, I actually said the gang. Kuv The Kang.
Well, that's what it's the playoff of, right?
Yep.
We've got the old school classics, Kool and the Gang, and now we've got the new school classics, Kuv The Kang. This is a Bollywood remix. Wata.
There you go. Can I just say very quickly, I know Ben Kaufman is in the chat, but to any other Jewish people watching this, Shanatova, Happy New Year. May it be a happy, sweet, and healthy one.
Well, Happy New Year to everybody. Exactly. All the best to you guys to start your new year. And our second guest is back in the house. We better get her added on before we lose her again.
She's gone immediately.
And if you guys haven't figured it out, a new addition to the show is Magic Tricks by Elly. She's here. She's
a signature move.
I'll tell you what, for someone that is so regular on the YouTube circuit, she's got to sort of Wi-Fi out.
Yeah, we got. You know what? You'll be there shortly. I'll be there shortly. Oh, she's back. Let's try again. Elly, check one. Mic check. Camera check. Mic check. Is that the real Elly in the house?
My earphones are not working.
Well, that sucks. We can hear you. Can you hear us? Okay. And on that note, let's just quickly say hello to everybody. Elly is in the chat at least, so big up, Elly. Koovs, you want to run through those for me, bud?
Yep, sure. Elly saying I'm on the show and in the chat. There's two Ellys. Has she got a twin? Stay tuned and all will be revealed.
Well, we can't even get one. Are two going to show up?
I don't think we can broadcast that, can we? Yeah, sure.
We'll find out.
Big up. Well, she's somewhere around anyway. Lisa here saying big up all. Looking forward to another great show. Big up, Lisa. Good of you to join us again. The man himself, Ben Kaufman.
There
Evening,
he
Ben.
is. Thank you for that intro, buddy.
Love that intro.
Love it. Everybody's loving it, man.
Bobby K will not bother with that one. Not so if Brian is
big up.
It's
Close. Close. Elly was on the loo this time.
As I said to Swifty in the comments, like the famous Mario Balotelli t-shirt, why always me? Why always me? Whenever there's an issue, Dagul. It's been all my life, the story of my life.
So mostly true used to it by now, then.
Mostly true.
Oh, that guy again, Brian Dagil.
Hey, Stuart. Evening, Stuart. Good to join us again.
Always a pleasure.
We've also got Hasper.
It's big up, Has.
Evening, mate. Good of you.
Mate.
Good of you to join us, one. And Paddy Hartnett again.
Paddy, what's up, brother?
Big up, Paddy.
All right, so we got through all of them.
Oh,
we got a few more there. Yeah. No, we got one more here, LMAO.
And Mark
Big up.
Cousins as well. Yep, Mark Cousins here.
Big up, Mark.
No, there's more down there. Yeah, go ahead. I'll stop pushing buttons.
And here we go. Moondog first.
Moondog's in the house.
Moondog
is here. Good evening, Moondog.
There's Y, my eldest son's friend.
Did you figure it out?
Yes, they are friend of my son's. Yeah.
No, I know we were talking about that, but by the end of the show, then you weren't sure 100%. Then there was that little bit of uncertainty. Great. Thanks for joining us, then, man.
But not even a Spurs fan just found it amusing. Some of the broadcasts, apparently. So
well, that's great.
There we go.
Apparently, we don't talk too much about
to join us.
Appreciate it.
And there is Carl Simpson. Good evening, Carl. Good of you to join us again, mate. And another familiar face, Bryce. Piss off, Bryce.
Piss off.
That's what...
Jesus Christ.
Well, taking no responsibility for that one, but
no comment.
How is that going in? No, we won't.
We'll circle back. Circle back.
Evening, Bill.
Evening, Bill.
Very understated, Bill. Just Bill. No picture
Bill.
there at all.
Bill. He's the Bill.
That's true. Yeah, that'll be it. George. Hello.
Big up, George.
Big up, George. And
wow.
I haven't seen Aaron for a little while.
Oh, you know what, Aaron? If you're actually still in here and you're listening, you're going to live a very long time, sir. You were dancing in my head this morning. I was thinking, I have not seen Aaron in so long. Where is he? How's he been? And I meant to reach out to you, so I'm so happy to see you, man. Hopefully you and the family are well, man. Hope you're doing well. Sorry, Coos. Wanted to say hi, Aaron. Been a long time.
Absolutely, yeah. I haven't seen him online for a while. Rob Patson, big up, mate.
Rob, welcome,
big
buddy.
up, everyone.
Big up.
We'll be listening, but not going to comment much. Got COVID and feel like crap. Just want to listen.
Cheers,
fair
buddy.
play, mate.
Hopefully we can help you myself a bit.
Yeah, most of us have had it at some point now, haven't we? It's a nightmare. It really is horrible.
Yeah.
Even the mild version's pretty bad.
Yeah.
There we go. And Kimber.
Kimber's in
Big
the
up,
Good evening, beautiful. Good evening.
We got United States of America. Who's that going to be?
Jacob.
Jacob.
Yeah.
Jacob or Michael, but most of the time it's Jacob.
Yeah.
And we got here Bob Spur. I like my women where I like my little shopping.
Nice. Big up, Bob. Hope you're doing well, buddy.
That sort of covers it for now.
That's it. We're good. We're caught up. So Ellie's in the house, and shockingly,
Yes, at last.
she's been in here for more than
hitches.
5 seconds. So let's take this opportunity quickly. Hi, Ellie. Hello. You're all
No,
right.
it was my fault because my iPad, I don't know why, I just couldn't receive your StreamYard link on it.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
And Ellie, who is your Wi-Fi provider or internet
Sky.
provider?
Sky.
Oh my gosh. My God.
I switched I shouldn't have switched. I was with Virgin and it was really good, as all Virgins are.
So many comments I'm not making at the moment.
Yeah.
So many.
I just pretend
yeah.
I'm on my phone replying to a very important text. Didn't hear that. What version were you talking about? Version of what? 2.0?
Virgin Atlantic.
Good times. Oh, Dermot's in the house as well. There you go. Big up, Dermot. How you doing, buddy? Dude, you're doing well. Bob's asking a question here. Causes Willie Ellie.
I'm trying to get my French blinds in the shop because they're really nice, my French blinds.
Actually, really nice. You got nice ones. You got a big window there.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
And there we go. That's that work. Side answer just popped in here. Okay, now we're caught up, buddy. Now we are officially caught up. So let's get to the formalities. Sure. Coots, should we start with the?
I think so. Stop.
Well, good evening, folks. Thank you for joining us this evening on Kuv The Kang. We really appreciate you taking the time out of your formal busy schedules to join us this evening. And, of course, our lovely people in the chat too, wherever you are. So good evening, good afternoon, or good morning. And let's just have a great fucking show because we hit 10 minutes. Let it go, baby. Let it loose.
Fuck for that.
Fuck it up. Let's go.
Oh, my
Go on,
God.
Brian. Come on, Brian. Go on, get your first fuck out of your system. Come on. Do it.
It'll come. I know. It'll come during the show.
Oh, you
trust
want it
me.
to be natural? You don't want it forced? Okay, fair.
Exactly.
If you mention
exactly.
the name Levy.
Fuck.
No. We want to keep it at the F word.
Fucking hell, Levy.
Yeah, just one square bomb at a time, Ellie. We're slowly building up, right?
Exactly.
Exactly.
Right.
Just got started. There's a lot of time to get through.
Bobby, what should we start with? What should we start with? A few
I don't know.
topics of conversation.
We do. We have a few things to talk about. I know I'd like to talk about a few of these things, but let's get the easy one out of the way first, shall we? How about this one?
Who are you calling the easy one?
The easy rider.
I do know Ellie and Brian both very well. So actually, that's a toss-up, isn't it?
Better say Brian then, because it's
Yeah.
otherwise
Always
it's
put the man before the woman, you know what I mean?
technically, I should go with Brian because I've had him sleep over a few times now, right? So it's
Right.
Yeah.
it's the obvious choice, accessibility, right? Right. So, so what do we think about this, Coops? Everybody's talking about Sonny on free kicks for Spurs. I know the other day he popped one in again for South Korea. I actually don't know why. I couldn't find the stat, and this is where I wish I had some stats knowledge, or I'm sure I could have used one of the pages the other guys used, but I was trying to figure out what's his goal ratio on his free kicks with South Korea, because last I heard it was something ridiculous, like 8 of 14 that he's converted. Do you know by chance? Any of you know the conversion rate?
I can tell you it's a lot better than Harry Kane's.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Fair enough. Oh,
Will Stewart, no.
there's your mic back. There's your mic drop.
I think my free kick taking's a bit better than that.
I'm Eric Dyer level.
Hey, careful.
He scored some. He scored in the World Cup, Eric Dyer, with a free kick. So, yeah.
He did. And he scored his penalty.
Yes. Something's got to change, hasn't it? Because Kane's dreadful at them. So, Sonny, does he look like the obvious candidate? It's got to be him or Perisic, hasn't it? What do you think, Ellie?
Yeah, I think Sonny should take him. We should call him Sondal, like after Hoddle. Sondal.
Let's hope it's not because he's one Soddle.
Yeah, he has one Sondal. Poor kid. He came to Spurs with a promise, didn't he?
He did.
Many do.
Yeah.
With that old house in New Orleans, aren't we?
Yeah. I think Sonny gets my vote anyway, because Kane's not cutting any mustard, is he? He's hitting the person in the rosette rather than the goal.
Yeah.
It's just weird, though, don't you think? That it's weird that he can do such accurate penalties, but he can't do an accurate free kick. Just weird.
I wonder if he's playing for the handball so he can get a penalty.
Yes. Good idea.
What do you think, Brian?
Well, listen, the thing with, if you look at the free kicks Son has taken, they've just been outside the area, which are the hardest free kicks to convert, because you've got to get up, over the wall, down, and in. And he is at least giving the goalkeeper something to think about. I still don't understand. If you look at it, the great free kick coach we brought in, or set piece coach, Gianni Vio, how he hasn't said, Kane, stop it. The only thing you've got to think, you've got to look at it on two ways. Is Conte telling him to keep at it, which is, I can't believe it because he is so poor at this, or is he just saying, or three ways, or is he just saying, I want to get that record for Spurs, I'm going to take every opportunity we get. And then someone mentioned, I don't even know if it's something written in it, not in his contract, so to say, but Harry, I don't know if it's like Harry Kane takes what he wants, does what he wants, but you would think he is absolutely subliminal at everything else he does. Everything. But this, he is just woeful. I was thinking the other day, if you had people that played Championship Manager or Football Manager, whichever one you played, and it gives all the stats, running, jumping, heading, stamina, block, if his set pieces isn't as low as 2, they're lying. They're atrocious. And if we get a dead ball in the North London derby against the Filth and I see Harry Kane take it, I'm going to be furious. I'm going to be absolutely furious. I love Harry Kane and everything he does, but he has to stop taking free kicks. It's like asking someone like Bissouma to go in goal and save a penalty.
Yeah.
What pointless! It's got to stop.
Well, here Carl's adding in. It must be something in his contract that basically states that he is going to be always doing it. And I know Lisa adds pretty much the same thing, saying the clause in Kane's contract's first option for free kicks, and he can choose to take them or let someone else. I can't think of any plausible reason why Kane would take them. Makes no sense. If he puts club above personal aim with not trying to worry about getting that scoring title, then that's the way it should be, because everybody here is in agreement that he should not be taking them.
No.
Kuv, what do you think about that? Would you like to see Sonny or pretty much anybody
definitely.
else at this point?
Anyone.
Yeah.
Might as well let Emerson have a pop. He's going to be able to do something.
Could you imagine if he did, Kluber? Could you imagine if he did and he just put a rocket?
Scored,
Cult status overnight.
But one thing I need to add if that is a clause in his contract or something written in his contract, that just shows how pathetic his brother is. They will put in a clause to take free kicks.
Stupid twat.
But they won't put into our benefit. How stupid is
I just can't believe any manager would solve that. No way.
What they should do, they should every time Harry Kane goes near a free kick, they should belt out the Spice Girls number. Stop right now. Thank you very much.
Ellie, when me and Danny were at Spurs, when I was at the games with him, not the whole stand, but me and Danny used to sing "It's hitting the wall, it's hitting the wall, Harry Kane, it's hitting the wall." And 9 times out of 10 it does that, and the other it goes into Rosette. I don't see. I mean, we saw it as well in Euro 2016, that horror show in France where Harry Kane, on Roy Hodgson's orders, was taking corners and free kicks, and look how that worked out.
You could have Pink Floyd as well with another kick in the wall. It's like
change the lyrics.
You guys know anything about this?
It's hitting Rosette. It's hitting Rosette. Harry Kane, you're hitting Rosette.
Well, they've shown Sonny doing this as well, Bobby. They have shown Sonny doing this as well.
I've seen the Sonny ones, but I didn't hear or know anything about the Bissouma. That's why I asked.
It's a mystery, isn't it? Perhaps it's just he must just be banging them in training for fun.
But
makes sense.
Sonny's really good at long shots anyway. We've seen that from outside the box. He's fantastic. So it makes sense to let him have them.
Well, not even to give it to him, just a bit of variation. If Kane takes one because you know he's going to, and it hits the wall, then say Son's taking it. Mix it up a bit. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah. I like Jacob here. Emerson for free kicks, but Aaron Tubb throws right back at him that no, it should be Doherty for free kicks. But I personally, Ben's got it. Ben's fucking spot on, man. Ben is on fire tonight. Started the show with that class intro, and now he's picked our free kick taker.
But I'm more confident.
Done. Deal done. Levy, get it over the line. Kimba, I think she's available on a free transfer right now, right? We'll have to find out. We'll have to find out from Bob. We'll talk to our agent. Do I just get caught up here, Kuz, quickly with the comments here? I'm just at Carl there if you want to take that.
Yeah, sure. Carl saying, don't worry, Brian. Charlie is at home listening to how to speak German, ready for negotiations with Bayer.
Yeah, no kidding. Eh?
Yeah, that'll be a fun day if that comes to fruition. But let's hope not.
Don't rule it out.
Yeah, I mean, the trouble is, well, at some point, Kane will no longer be playing for the club, whether it's through retirement or transfer.
Yeah.
But someday it's going to come. I mean, it's daunting thinking how the hell we're going to replace him.
Dane Scarlett. Vincent Janssen. No? Oh.
Vince.
You
having a laugh?
I think he's playing in Mexico now.
Yeah, he is. Well, that's where he
is.
ended up. Yeah, that's the last thing I heard of him. So, but that's crazy though, because he was doing really well in Holland. So we crippled him to the point where he ended up in Mexico. That's kind of sad. Sorry, Koofs.
Oh, no problem. Kim's also saying you're an embarrassment. Yeah, I can see that. Bob likes women. He likes his wedding trips. Cold on the side of the outside Aldwick. Okay.
Are we on
David
Wankety
Wank? Yeah, kind of.
Well, technically, this is like the post game wrap up to Wankety Wank. You have the pre-game.
This is the pre-show.
No, the pre-show is Thursday night. Shelfside Spurs.
Yeah,
that's the pre-show. We're the wind down.
You know what it is with Hesper saying this with Ben. Do you know what? I would rather see anyone take a free kick in an area. At least there's that thought that let's see what he can do. Maybe he'll do something. Yeah.
What's he saying?
Yeah, what Bob said, Benny. What Bob said. Hopefully you're doing all right there, buddy. Hopefully everything's okay in the boilet.
Yeah, we should move on from this. I think we're all agreed somebody else should do it, really, shouldn't we?
Yeah, that's it, and that's all that matters. Just anybody but Sonny. We're pretty much there.
You mean anyone but Kane?
Anyone but Kane? Yeah, sorry. Yep. You're right. Sorry, I just saw Sonny in front of me. Thank you. That's why we got you here, Brian. So why don't you take over? Start this, Brian. Did you get a chance to see? I know you did because we watched them together. But you saw the highlights for Richie's goals. How do you think he did for Brazil? Was it nice to see him getting those goals? The celebration that he had the smile on his face.
Of course. Listen, Richie has been fantastic for us. Fantastic on form. Last couple of games weren't brilliant, but he's been a breath of fresh air. He's happy. He's got a smile on his face. Goes to his country, scores a couple of goals, comes back for the North London derby, whether he's on the bench or starting, ready and raring to go. I think the other side of this, which I mentioned on the Late Late Show when we are on TV, is coming into this North London derby, you've got Richie, who's bouncing off the clouds and knows he's going to the World Cup barring injury and his first choice, which is great for us. But then on the other side of the field, you've got a pissed off Jesus. A very pissed off Jesus who's been dropped, doesn't know if he's going to the World Cup.
Yeah.
And is going to have a fire in his belly to say, do you know what? I need to impress to get on that plane. I don't know which is better. Is it better to have a very, very confident Richarlison that knows pretty much his passport's getting stamped to go to Qatar and really, really happy with life, obviously in London at Spurs and with his country, or a really pissed off Jesus who's got everything to prove? That's what we'll find out next Saturday if the game goes ahead because of the strikes and whatever. But for Richie, listen, he has been an incredible. Bob Spur and Simeon, who brainwashed me, were saying it all along that he'll bring something, that he'll give us something that we've been missing, and they've been proven absolutely bang on the money. Everything he does at the moment is turning out rosy, and long may that continue.
Yeah, I think with Jesus at the moment, he's scored about the same amount of goals for Brazil as Richarlison has in almost twice the games.
Yep.
It's quite telling the difference they're having impact-wise. I think Jesus has got a lot of talent, but when it just comes to finding a way to bundle the ball in the back of the net, looks like Richarlison's got the edge on him there.
It could be the manager as well. You know how managers have certain ways to play and prefer certain types of player? It could very be that the manager doesn't see him fitting into the Brazilian way of play. So it could be that. But he has been on very good form for the filth, unfortunately.
Unfortunately,
this is about Richarlison, and just may everything he does carry on like this because he's just phenomenal.
Yeah. But then we got the issue with who's going to start and who's going to sit on the bench when, we got Sonny scored, Decky's been in form and him, and nobody's going to sit here and say that we bench Kane to start the North London derby. So it'll be an interesting choice for Conte. Before we get into with you on that one, Ellie, I just want to go back. I don't like going back, but we will with this one because some things are worth taking a step back for. And Mark actually threw his hat into the mix and suggested somebody really good for the free kick. So we've got Dan's Nan and Kimba will be competing to take free kicks for Tottenham going forward now. So what do you think of Richie's brace? How do you think it impacts his ability to start for Spurs now? Does it give Conte a selection headache? Where are we at here?
He's on a high, isn't he, the lad? You know, he's just scored 2 goals for his country. He loves his country, obviously. Like most players, when they play for their country, they step up a bit. But except for the English players, of course, I had to have a dig there. Basically, I think because he's been playing so well for us. But what I see in Richie, his actual holding up play is not that good. He's best when he's roaming around, terrorising and getting into the opposition's faces. That's what I like him for. Okay. You know, he's so good at pressing as well. He's the best presser I've ever seen. If Poch had him, he would have loved him, right? But I just feel that he deserves a start and maybe bench Kulu, because Kulu, however good he's not been his... You know, at that level, and he's also getting marked a lot. Whereas Richie roams a lot. He goes from left to right to the middle. He's such a good workhorse as well, which he doesn't get an awful lot of praise for. But I watch him, and he works like a Trojan. I love players like that. You know that I love Højbjerg. He's the same. So
sorry, we got to keep in line with the show. You said Trojan, and Trojan's name of a condom brand over here. But carry on. Thank you.
Is it now? Okay, that's something new I've learned tonight.
So okay. No, just like the way you say, he sticks it in like a Trojan. But go on. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh well. Yes. Oh
yeah.
Yes.
The thing is, I just like Richarlison's shithousery. I like the way he winds. We need to wind this Arsenal team up, because when you wind them up, they buckle.
Yeah.
You saw it at White Hart Lane. Sonny was winding up Holding, you know, and I know Holding was right up his arse trying to kick the shit out of him, but Sonny weren't having any of it. So, you know, and he got him sent off in the end. So, you know, Sonny was very clever the way he got him sent off as well, because he leant into him and Holding had no choice but to like barge him and put his elbow in his face. So I'm just looking for Richie to do some of what he's been doing all season, you know, and then if it's not working, then bring on Kulu for a bit of left foot magic.
I know you, but sorry.
Yeah, a lot of calls in the comment section for playing Kulu at right wing back. If you're going to play with that ultra attacking style of wing back, then I don't see a real problem with it. You just basically you have to make sure that the two central, the two sort of holding midfielders and your back three are very much taking up the slack, which is doable.
Romero, if he's playing,
especially. I mean, Kulusevski, he's got no problem with working hard, has he? And Richarlison works his socks off as well.
Yeah,
I think it's certainly doable. But Conte seems to like this. Well, let's call him a player, Emerson. Be generous.
Loosely.
Yeah, it's a strange one. That. What's the thoughts on actually? You know, should we be playing Kulusevski as a wing back, or is that a waste of his talent? Do you think, Ellie?
No, I don't think it's a waste of his talent, because he more or less plays it anyway, because what he does, he links with Emerson. Emerson doesn't do much, really. It's Kulu that brings the ball up for us. So if he adopted that right wing back position, I think he'll slot into it very nicely. Maybe not as nice as a Trojan, but there you go.
No. I've given her more ammunition to be bad with now. What was I thinking?
Yeah. You don't have to let me loose. You know, I'm a loose cannon anyway.
Oh, just a little.
Yeah, I just
That's
think,
why we love you.
On a serious note, though, I think he can play that role very well. And if Romero's playing the right centre-back, I think we've got plenty of cover, because he's 3 players in one, Romero. He is. And if he's on form, which I'm hoping he will be, because he's dropped a couple of notches on his form lately, I've noticed, and I think he might be carrying an injury. I think that's the only thing I can put it down to.
Well, there's that. There's the whole conspiracy theory that people are saying that he's keeping himself fit for Argentina.
Yeah, but then they didn't play him, did they? They didn't play him, did they? They kept him on the sideline because he's got some sort of hip injury. We know that, but whether it's niggling him and he's not quite going into his crunching tackles, because we're used to Romero going full pelt battle. You know, he'll crunch one in and then he'll crunch another one in. You know, but we haven't seen that in the last few games. He's holding back, which I'm thinking maybe he's worried about the hip.
Yeah. Do you know what, Ellie, what has happened as well is Romero's and the club's fault, because Romero, we saw when he was first injured, he said, I'm ready. He's so eager to play.
Yeah, of course.
But because we didn't buy another centre-back, he's been rushed back. And you could see he's not full pelt, because the tackle he made for Mitrovic's goal at Fulham was the weakest, feeblest tackle. And Romero never, ever, ever does that, being on a yellow card or not. And in regards to Kulusevski, I would love to see Kulusevski at right wing back, but only if we play 3-5-2, because there's a third midfielder to cover him up.
I agree.
Should there be, there'll be three at the back. If there is a extra midfielder, Kulu will be incredible at right wing back, because he's got the up and down, and you know he's going to deliver quality. But if he goes 3-4-3, I don't want Kulusevski at right wing back. But the other thing is with Richarlison, I want us to play 3-5-2 and Richarlison on the bench. And why I want Richarlison on the bench is if any defender of Arsenal's is on a yellow card, bring him on in the second half and just let him do what he does.
Push buttons,
He will get that player gone. He will wind that player up something chronic and be a huge asset. A huge asset.
Yeah. So you might even do some keepy uppies as well, wouldn't it?
Exactly.
right in front of Arteta.
Yeah,
I was listening to Steve.
I think Kim's agreeing with you there, Brian. No way we're having two in midfield against Arsenal. I've got to agree with that. The way they're playing, we've got to get control of that midfield. Shut them down.
It happens every time we're there, Kuba. Every time we're there, they completely overrun us in midfield.
That's right.
And we can't keep up the pace. We have to. I don't think he will, though.
It's actually painful to say they're probably they're probably playing the best in the football in the league at the moment.
Yeah, unfortunately, I agree.
So if we let, sorry, go on, Ellie.
No, I was going to say, because we can win with 3-4-3, we can, but it's going to be tougher because Højbjerg and Bentancur got to be on their game, right? And sometimes they're not on their game. So if you've got an extra one like Basuma who can cover grounds and grounds of pitch because he's so super fit, and he's raring to go, and he's got a point to prove, hasn't he? That's one what you need to play in this big London derby, because he hasn't experienced it before, and he'll be itching to impress, to seal that 3-5-2 combination. Because I think the 3-5-2 against Arsenal, if we don't play it and we play the 3-4-3, it's going to be a lot tougher to win. It is. So I'm just hoping Conte gets his tactics right. Yeah.
Correct.
That's all I've got to say.
No, I think everybody's pretty much in agreement with you there, Ellie. We saw how effective it was when he switched it up. So hopefully we can start with it. Like I've said with Brian, I said the only concern is the fact that we leave ourselves thin on options. God forbid something happens to one of those guys in the middle, right? So,
well, the thing is, go on, Brian. No, go on, you go, bro.
No, I'm going to go home and take my channel with me if I need.
You don't tell us what to do.
Okay. What you got to look at for midfield, Skippy can come on. All right, it'll be his first start or whatever, but I think he'll go 3-4-3 again. But if we do the 3-4-3, he changed to a 3-5-2 with Leicester when it was 2-2, and yes, it changed the game. If we turn up like we did last season under Nuno or how we've done under Jose, how we've done under Poch. We start 3-4-3. Normally, in the first 5-10 minutes, they are all over us. All over us.
Yeah.
And it depends when Conte will say, do you know what? This ain't working. Switch to 3-5-2. Will it be too late to make a difference? And then try and claw it back. We always say these North London derbies are huge, like the one we had at the new stadium last season, which was Champions League, whatever. This one now, we win, we go top of the league, but only for a short time till City play, but on their own patch. Do you know what? They've won the league at our patch. All right, going first after 8 games isn't really anything, but we can't let them dictate the play. If they start overrunning us immediately, that library that is always quiet until we come into town, we'll have a field day. I really want him to go 3-5-2, but I know his stubbornness. He'll go 3-4-3.
I think at the end of the day, though, it depends on how you play each of these systems, because they are just numbers on a piece of paper.
True.
If you're going to have set a different sort of tactic for within that sort of framework, if you like, it can play out very much like flooding the midfield with 6 players if you need to. Just leave the likes of Sonny roaming up front by himself and sit back and just basically ruin the game for Arsenal, which I'm happy with on this occasion. I mean, usually I like to see us playing quality, free-flowing football, but against this scum, against the Chavs, against the Hammers, I'm quite happy with just the result there. Just anything that annoys them is good enough for those 3 games.
The thing is, I was going to say, Kuva, their passing game is a lot better than ours.
Yeah,
100%. Their movement off the ball is better than ours, because I've been watching them. Right, we've got to be on our guard because they're much better than last season. Right, so we've got to really be careful the way we play. We can soak up the pressure and hit them on the break, because our passing this season has been very, very poor. I've been very disappointed with our passing as an ex-midfielder myself. Yeah, but and also it's the length of passing when we panicking and Dyer just hits a long one that goes nowhere, or Davies hits a long one that goes nowhere. We've got to cut that out of our game. We've got to keep short passes to Højbjerg, feed Højbjerg and Bentancur to do their little short passes and transition the play through Kulu if he plays. If not, get it to Sonny and Kane as quickly as you can, because those 2 players, when they're on fire, they can hurt any opposition.
Oh, 100%, 100%.
Yeah.
But it's perfect that you were talking about the passing, because it kind of leads us into our next talking point. Speaking of passing, here's somebody that definitely knows how to pass the ball, and I think he's going to be a very welcome addition back for our next game. So apparently Perisic will be fit for the North London derby. So let me ask my partner in crime about this one first. Coos, that's the rumor I'm hearing over here. What is on in the news over there or anything? What have you guys heard over there?
Well, it was a bit up in the air, wasn't it? Didn't know how bad the injury was from the match. But looks like it's a minor knock. If he is fit, he's such an important player for us now, because he's one of the few that genuinely creates chances. You'd say him, Kulusevski, Kane dropping back would be the primary sources of chance creation. But other than that, you're looking at Højbjerg, really, who's been one of our main creators, which he's actually done really well this season, which Elly will like to hear.
Yes, I'm giving it the thumbs up, Coots.
I still don't rate him highly, but he's done pretty well this season.
You give me it and then you take it away. Come on. Typical man.
I like to tease. He's
playing hard to get.
I think Perisic, you just look at his crossing. It's the accuracy, the pinpoint accuracy on those crosses, the level of chances he creates, just awesome. And without him in there, we're back to Sessegnon again, who rarely sticks in anything. So it's a massive plus for us if he's fit for that. Especially if we are looking.
No, I was going to say this.
Okay,
yes,
Ed,
rubbish.
good to see you, Ed. Thanks.
Yeah, he started tonight for Croatia.
I did. Right.
So I don't know if I'd rather he'd come off the bench rather than start. If he had a little, but this clearly shows that he's fit and ready to go. Let's just hope there's no flare up after the game the day after. But yeah, like Kuva said, if there's a man you want that's played in the big derbies, the experience, and like we said, if we play like we have done at the Emirates recently, we're going to need, when we have a chance and someone needs to cross it in, we're going to need for that player to get that ball in, and hopefully one of the front two, front three can convert it. And if there was a person at the club that I had to say this guy's going to find the target, it's Perisic without even thinking. Yeah. He is crucial. And I really, really hope he starts. I mean, Arsenal have got Kieran Tierney limped off yesterday, but that guy's hardly ever fit anyway. So they've got a few injuries. And let's just hope we don't. Perisic is extremely, extremely important for this game and the season. So good to see him playing for Croatia.
100%. And like everybody's saying, he did play today, and everybody's going to be excited to have him back. He offers us that passing option that we definitely need. And Aaron's just saying here, turning up battered by the Paddies last night, so he'll be out.
Yes,
oh, what a shame. What a shame.
Come on, the Irish.
I was going to say, Aaron, you should have sent some of your boys over to bash up a couple more of them, man.
Mate, Kieran Tierney is made out of Weetabix. I've never known a guy to get so. I mean, obviously we've had ours, but he is injured non-stop.
Yeah, he's got the same DNA as Cess.
But then they'll just play
Zinchenko. Yeah, it's
they'll just play Zinchenko.
Only the difference, he can play football and Cess can't.
they used to have another player we always said had Weetabix ankles, didn't we? And anybody remember him? It's almost like the name's forgotten now.
Weetabix ankles.
Yeah.
Jack Wilshere.
Jack Wilshere.
Yeah.
I think he's still. If he hasn't retired yet, don't even think he's hit 30 yet, has he?
He's married to a Greek Cypriot lady.
One thing, I took Ilana to one game. It was Tottenham Bournemouth in the last season of the Lane, and we won 4-0. And it was the week before the semi-final with Chelsea, and we were sitting in a box, and literally they're reading out the team and everything. And then obviously when they called out Jack Wilshere, I told her, listen, he's ex-Arsenal, we hate him. We started booing him and started calling him all the names and whatever. She was like, this is very rude. And I'm like, you think this is... Then he went down, he actually went off injured, funnily enough. And we all started cheering and whatever, singing It's Happened Again. And Ilana was like, this is so rude. I was like, you ain't heard nothing. You haven't heard anything.
This is just a warm-up.
Yeah.
We'll address this.
Isn't that interesting then, that if he started coaching at Arsenal and that he's coaching them to be Weetabix?
Let's hope. Let's hope.
Yeah.
Coos, what do you think? We'll address this. I think somebody's taken over Bob's computer because he's actually sent a legitimate question in. That's not pornographic in any way or demeaning to one of the panels, so I'm kind of shocked. So I'm assuming Kim's got his phone right now. We'll answer this, and then we'll go on to a little game with these two. Let them have a little bit of fun. We've been grilling them pretty hard for 40 minutes now. Let them have a little bit of fun, yeah?
All right. Is that an ah, yeah? Is that an ah?
No, we can't do ah, yeah. Ah, yeah is Bob's thing. Say, oh, Jish. Oh, Jish. Me and Coos will figure something out. So, what do you guys think?
That's a good question. Yeah, has Perisic been underwhelming? What do we think? I'll start off that. I don't mind that.
Go for it.
I suppose you could say yes, because we're expecting him to be world class at everything he does, and some of his defending's been pretty dodgy, really, hasn't it? Going forward, he's got the ability to put in a worldy cross, and he takes on his men well. He adds to our attacking game. It's kind of like the opposite of Emerson, isn't it? Emerson, you expect to break down the moment he hits the halfway line, and Perisic has looked sort of a bit out of his comfort zone when he gets into our half. And he certainly didn't seem to like it when he played over on the right. So you could say he's still finding his feet a little bit, I think. But he just offers too much to leave him out, I think. Because, as I said, the alternative is Sessegnon.
It's a no-brainer.
It is. It is. What do you think, our Queen Elly?
Right, the Queen
What are your
has
thoughts on
spoken. The Queen's speaking on behalf of all talented footballers who
In
are
that case, let me bang my gavel. Go ahead.
world class. Right, I'm of the thinking, right, if you've got a world class player in your midst, you treat him like a world class player. I wouldn't want him to defend, to tell you the truth. I'd just say, get the ball, do the damage, cross the ball. I don't want him to track back. I'm one of these coaches who thinks if you've got talent in your team, don't use him as a defender. The defenders are there to do that. He's best going forward, isn't he? We all know that. And he's pinpoint crossing. If he's backtracking, defending, you're taking away from his game, because he's 33, remember, as well. He's not like 21 or 26 or 27, whatever. But I just feel that I want him to do what he's best at and conserve his energy for that. You know, they tried to do it with Glenn Hoddle as well back in the 80s, making him defend. No way. He's world class. He deserves to be picking up the ball and causing havoc to those Arsenal defenders, you know, and putting it on a pinpoint to Harry Kane to score a hat-trick. Yes, come on, Perisic.
Yes.
Do your damage.
Well, Brian, now it's being said, yeah, fair enough. And George is saying he's going to defend him. He's had a little game time. And Jay's defense is that he's also, adjusting to a new league here. So, Brian, what are your thoughts? Has he been underwhelming to you for what your expectations were on Perisic coming in?
Not really. I don't think underwhelming is the term I would use. If you look at it, he's been brought in to supply ammunition to the front three or front two, whatever we do. And for ages, we haven't had a wing back or a full back that can cross a decent ball. When you see his crosses, they are always getting into the box, always getting into dangerous areas. They're just, sometimes there's been a player to score the goal or at least make the keeper work or whatever. But sometimes they just haven't been there to meet the cross. His crossing is sensational. His corners are sensational. Defensively, yeah, he's had a couple of errors or whatever, but when he played right wing back, his first touch seemed to have eluded him for most of that game. But I don't think underwhelming is the word, because if the players had converted those crosses, he would have had 6 or 7 assists by now, and everyone would be waxing lyrical, saying, "Oh my God, look at this! He's played 7 games, whatever." So I don't think underwhelming is the word. I know where he's coming from.
Yeah.
I can see why Bob's saying that, but for me, we bought him to get ammunition into the box, and has he done that consistently when he's on the pitch?
Yeah,
100%, 100%.
Yes.
So for me, I thought he may have got the odd goal here, or may have had a couple more assists or whatever, but I just don't think underwhelming is the word, or the word. Sorry.
I think for me, it comes down to what your expectations of Perisic were coming in. I didn't have high expectations of him coming in with his age and everything like that. I knew he was a quality player and coming to Italy, but he's at the wind down point of his career. So that's why I had low expectations. And that's why for me, he's actually been fantastic. I've been very happy with him. If you just take on Aaron's point here as well, who do you think Elly gets the credit for that? The Perisic actually doing what Perisic does, or is it a combination of the new set piece coach here, Vianney? Is it Vianney? Giovanni, I believe.
Yeah, Gio.
Right?
Yeah, something like that. It's Italian, so it's hard to say. Right. So basically, I'll credit both, because you've got to credit the set piece coach, because Eric Dyer's already scored 2 goals. And I think, if I'm right, he didn't score a goal all season. I think for 3 seasons he didn't score before that. So you've got to credit the set piece coach offensively, right? And then you've got to credit, well, you don't really have to credit Perisic. That's what he does. Perisic is Perisic. He's world class. He can put a pin right on your boom. Right, he puts it on a sixpence, doesn't he? And he makes it easy for the striker to score. And when he crosses, he's fantastic as well. Like, not just from normal crossing, from like normal open play, but from corners. They're exceptional, his corners. So you can't coach that. That's just natural world-class stability, you know. And I'll just credit them both because the coach, we scored 5, I believe, from set pieces. I believe.
Correct.
I think that's right. I think that's correct. So we're already showing improvement. I want to see an improvement in set pieces defending wise as well.
My thing is, we can hear you clearly. My thing is, Ellie, though, I appreciate the point that you made regarding the fact that Perisic is putting those quality crosses in, but we've also lacked people getting on the end of them. So that's why I say, thankfully, Ben was kind enough to put his name in here now for us, Gianni Vio. So I want to give him credit because the players that would normally traditionally be standing still, just waiting for the perfect ball to come in so they could just flick it in. They're not doing that now. We're seeing a lot of player movement. Like there was one set piece I saw against, I'm pretty sure it was Sporting. This is the problem with having a shit memory is I don't know what game what happens in, but I think it was Sporting, and we took a free kick. I can't remember who took it, but I know Harry Kane did not because he was actually up in the wall.
Yeah.
And as soon as they were setting up and everything, all of a sudden it was like an American football play where Harry Kane started running across the front of the wall. It was like a player in motion, the way they do in American football. And then as soon as Harry Kane got to the end of that wall, the ball came in. And it was actually a very smart play, and it was great to see that. So I think if the combination of these two start clicking for us and really working for us, we've got something really special. And you know how I am, man. I'm optimistic, and I think we got great things coming ahead of us. And speaking of great things coming ahead of us, it's game time. It's game time, kiddies. It's game time, kids. Get your children's hats on. It's time for a little bit of fun. Take that serious shit out of you. It's Sunday night. We got to go back to work tomorrow. Life sucks as soon as we wake up. So let's enjoy the rest of the fucking weekend, shall we?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, you know what it is. It's a quick little game called Quick Fire. I will be giving you two options. You give me the one you like the best. Depending on if I like your answer or not and how fast you answer it, I will assign some sort of points value. How little K does the points, we have still not fucking figured out. Even Einstein could not. But I'm sure we'll come up with a winner.
Don't give that one. No, the scoring system is finely tuned.
Oh, it's perfectly tuned. Oh, okay. All right, we're good. Yeah, okay. Got it. Are we ready? Okay, we're ready. Yes. Ellie and Brian, are you ready for...
Yeah.
It is time for quickfire, ladies and gentlemen. So we will start with you first. Ellie, are you ready?
Okay. I'm ready.
I hope you have your superhero knowledge ready because we're going to start with superheroes. Spider-Man or Venom?
Spider-Man.
Good call. American football or baseball?
Baseball.
Ooh. Do you want to ask the question again?
Come on, it's quick fire.
Quick fire. Okay, I like bass.
Okay, you're right. Coke or Pepsi?
Coke.
Good. Iron Man or Captain America?
Iron Man.
Good call. Super speed or super strength?
Super strength.
Levy fired or Arsenal relegated?
Arsenal relegated.
Dark chocolate or milk chocolate?
Dark. I like my chocolate like I like my men.
Yeah, but this is milk chocolate.
Available.
I even pointed. I gave you the answer for that.
My brother said whoever put milk in chocolate is an idiot. He's a chocolatier.
Well, me and your brother are going to have a discussion then. Oh, me and your brother are really going to have a discussion. Me and little K as well. Messi or Ronaldo?
Ronaldo.
Sandy Beach or pool?
Pool.
Pac-Man or Donkey Kong?
Donkey Kong.
Nice. Good call.
Come on, Donkey Kong.
Sorry, quick points assessment. Sorry.
50 million.
She got a few points. Thank you. Okay, Mr. Dagil, are you ready for your round, sir?
I am indeed.
Well, hopefully you are up with your Star Wars knowledge, sir. Dark Side or Rebellion?
I hate them all. Rebellion. No idea what I'm talking about.
good or bad, basically. Dark side, well, that is the bad guy.
I said rebellion. So rebellion it is.
Pickles or cucumbers?
Pickles.
I know the answer to the next one, and I shouldn't have given you this one. It's too easy. Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Ah, Simba heard that. Mango or papaya?
Mango.
Hamburger or hot dog?
Hamburger.
Taco or burrito?
Sorry.
Taco or burritos?
Taco.
Whisper or Yorkie?
Oh, Whisper.
Ooh, good choice.
Ooh, controversial.
It is, but it's my choice. Actually, yeah, considering he brought me back 2 Yorkies. Figured he'd know better.
That was for you.
Chicken mushroom pie or steak pie? Steak and kidney is.
Steak and kidney.
Steak and kidney? No, that's a bad answer. Superman or Spider-Man?
Spider-Man.
Erling Haaland or Kylian Mbappe?
Haaland.
Interesting. Cooves? So Brian got
I didn't get the Arsenal relegated or Levy fired.
No, you got all different.
Dark chocolate, dark side.
Dark fucking chocolate. And Whisper or Yorkie. And he brought me Yorkie back from England.
You can't have a Whisper.
I don't say Yorkie.
Can I just interject here? This is my quick fire.
Hi, dude, Brian.
This is my quick fire, not what I brought back for you because you wanted.
Yeah, but as they say, the house always wins. Right?
True.
So, but we do have good news. Kuva, we do have a winner.
Do we?
After we totaled up the points, we do have a winner.
We're not disqualifying both.
I'm not disqualifying, but no, I was going to do that. But first time debut on Kuv The Kang, we one chance. Okay. Thank you. Okay, so because you guys are the heavy hitters, you definitely get your one opportunity. But please don't squander it. Okay? Use this to your advantage. Learn from this. Take this knowledge forward. Pass it on to other content creators that will come on the show. And don't make these same mistakes. That's you, everybody out there. Kuv The Kang. Okay? So like I was saying, we do have a winner. Yay! So what are we on to here? Southgate's future?
Yeah, why not? Does he have one?
Does he have a future?
Yeah, as a pizza delivery man.
Pizza delivery man? You think so?
You know the pizza advert he was in?
It takes too long, I think.
Was he in a pizza advert? Seriously?
After he missed the penalty for Euro 96,
yeah.
there was him, Stuart Pearce and Chris Waddle, and they had paper bags over their heads because they didn't want to be seen in Pizza Hut. But yeah, they did do an advert for Pizza Hut.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Southgate isn't topping anything, though, so it's pointless, isn't it?
But honestly, Brian, does he stay or does he go?
He stays, and the only reason I say he stays is the FA haven't got the balls to sack him. Because if you sack him now, there is the manager, whoever it may be, is going to have no time with the players before the World Cup.
Yeah.
No time to train them. No time to get their philosophy over. No time to literally have an in-depth knowledge of what it's going to be. If the World Cup was in the summer, he's gone. He's gone.
Yeah.
But because of this, and you look at it, I think Gareth Southgate, if he had his worst nightmare has come true, the one game he wouldn't have wanted with all this heat is Germany at home. The one game because Wembley will be ready and baying for blood. If we get off to a poor start or they go ahead, the place will go mad. And the English press, like Kuva will know, and Elly and people, when Graham Taylor didn't get us to the World Cup, the press went for him like I've never seen. Him. They literally, and this was before social media. And I just don't think England have got the balls to do this. And if you look at it, I think Spain did this before the Brazil World Cup, where they changed manager whilst they were out there, and they completely flunked. But I heard on TalkSport the other day, and I'm going with this reverse psychology, just I'm trying to be optimistic. Normally, England go into World Cups or Euros, having smashed the qualifying groups, 10 out of 10 or 9 wins, 1 draw, 1 by a landslide, go to the World Cup and choke.
Mm.
Well, now we're going to go in with a rough form, and hopefully it's just it could be a complete 180, but I doubt it. So I'm hoping that we go into this World Cup and do the opposite of what we always do, but I fear for England. Southgate there, I really fear for England at the World Cup.
Big up. We got Mile High Hotspur. Bobby's in the house here. Bobby Wright. Big up, Mr. Wright there. I just want to take Jay's quick comment here, which I kind of found amusing right there. No time, referring to what you just said about Southgate's timeline and why the FA cannot basically fire him. Kuvs, do you think somebody even with no time could come in and do a better job?
It would have to be somebody that's a brilliant motivator. You'd be looking like a Harry Redknapp, somebody like that, who's been there, done that, and he gets the teams to play at least attacking football. With the talent we've got available, it needs to be somebody that can harness that. Southgate is not doing it. You look at Harry Kane, one of the best strikers in the world. He can barely get a kick. The only chances he gets, he has to fashion for himself. And yet we've got all these talented players in the squad. It's shocking. I think, it needs somebody that's going to really shake up the way we're doing things. But I think Brian's right. FA haven't got the balls. They will always go for somebody that fits their profile of corporately pleasant, doesn't rock the boat, nice and steady. It's why Harry Redknapp didn't get the job in the first place. It's why Brian Clough never got the job. People with some talent that are going to rock the boat, they're not interested. Got to be old school tie and that little that nice little package to present to people.
I think that's Jay. I think Jay's comment feeds right into exactly what you're saying. Then he's just so boring. He plays it safe, and that's what they want. That safe, wholesome, perfect image, like you're kind of alluding to, where it's no risks, no disappointments, kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I literally don't watch England anymore. I've not been excited about international football for a long time now. And
you know what it is, Kuv, as well, and you alluded to it as well with the attacking players we have. If you look at it, previous World Cups, we've been based with a very solid defence, like Terry, Ferdinand, Cole, Neville, and then built from that. So we've had managers to do that. Harry Redknapp or a Poch, but Poch's training methods, I agree with everything Kuva said about Poch coming in for this. It's too soon, his training methods. We need an attacking manager, because right now the plethora of young or English talent, whereas it used to be our defence that was so strong, that's our weakness now. It's the front line. You look at everything in the front. We need a manager that will go get that ball up there and let them do what they need to do. There are so many attacking options available to this England manager that's what we need to do. A manager needs to come in and say, right, we need to get the ball up there. Very creative midfielders, devastating forwards. And that's what we need. And Southgate is like Cooper said, he's playing it safe. He doesn't, I mean, why? He put Chilwell and Shaw in the squad and didn't play them because they're not getting minutes for their club, but played Saka at left wing back.
Yeah.
Isn't this the time where you should be playing players that you think, wait a minute, let's give them a run out, let's give them an opportunity? Why pick 2 left backs in the England squad that aren't even playing for their squad, and you wouldn't play them for the country, when you could have chosen new talent that might have had a point to prove and given us something different? He's lost it.
He's just tactically inept.
Yeah.
He hasn't got a clue how to use the talent in the squad. I mean, look, you've got a player who's on fire with Man City and Grealish, and he brings him on at 71 or 72 minutes, I believe. So he's giving the lad 19 minutes.
Yeah, it was a joke. Yeah.
It's a joke.
Yep.
When he's on fire, and he's playing the best football that he's done since he's left Villa. But do you know what? It's very easy to play in a City side that's like got world-class players all around the pitch. When you've got England, however good we are, we're not as good as Man City. But do you know what? It only needs a little tweak. It needs a tweak here and a tweak there. You need Grealish to start for certain. You need Saka to play in his proper position so he can actually affect the game, and you need Maguire not to play. That's one thing for sure.
Yeah,
I would actually play Stones. I would actually play Stones.
Yeah, he's been doing well, hasn't he? So
He's been
I don't
doing very
understand
well.
why Maguire started when
Yeah.
you know he's been playing shit.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. He had a go. He said Chilwell and Shaw can't play because they're not getting minutes, but then play Harry Maguire, who hasn't been getting minutes.
I'm surprised Harry
No.
Winks didn't start at that rate.
Do you know what I mean? They'll bring him out of Sampdoria.
Yeah, exactly.
They'll find
Mr.
him in a
Dagil, Mr.
pizza
Patterson
place.
has a question for you here.
Yeah, I saw that. So,
Would you like to address that, sir?
yeah, I can address it. Listen,
Go for
the
it.
one thing I will say about Daniel Levy in a positive way is when it comes to selling the star assets, he's the best in the world. The best in the world at selling the star. There's no, I will never argue that. The problem with this is it's out of Levy's hands now, because at the end of the season, Kane only has 1 year left.
Hmm.
And if Conte left at the end of the year, you're not getting it. He won't sign a contract. He won't. So right now, it comes down to the point of we have to win stuff and tie Conte down. Because if we get the listen, do I think Harry Kane wants to go to Bayern Munich because he really wants to play for that huge, humongous club? No. But when he gets to the end of this year, like Jurgen Klinsmann did when he left after 1 year, obviously Jurgen Klinsmann was older. The reason he left Spurs was to say he'd never won a title and he wants to he's won a title in his long career. Yes, it's a farmers, or I wouldn't call it a farmers league. Yes, Bayern Munich 9 times out of 10 win the league. But does Harry Kane want a trophy? Does he want a trophy? And with 1 year on his contract, the power switches. Right now, it's in Levy's hands. But come the summer, that pendulum swings. That pendulum swings. He either agrees to sign a contract, or we're going to have to sell him, or we wait till 6 months later and see how we're doing and try and sign him again, or he'll leave for free if he wants. So what happened last season with Man City? Levy done a great. Well, you know what happened. City didn't go anywhere near the money, but he is the best at getting the best deal for our stars. The problem with it when he sells our stars is giving the manager the money to go get the players he wants. But last season, Levy did a great job in keeping Harry Kane. But it wasn't really tested, because if the 150 had come in, we would have accepted it. So if someone says 75 million and he says, no, it's 150, that's very easy to say. It's like I can go to any of your house and go, oh, I like that house. I'll give you £2,000 for it.
Yeah.
You're not gonna do it. But like I said, so I can't remember who said the question.
Rob Patterson.
Rob, like I said, getting rid of players, or not getting the best price for the star asset. There's no one I'd rather have at the club to do it. But that's the position we're in right now.
That's where it ends, though, isn't it, Brian?
Yeah.
After that, what he does with the money is very questionable.
Yeah, well, that's what the problem, right? That's what's we got the division in the fan base over stuff like that.
Well, yeah, you'd make the argument that he's also the reason why a star player wants to leave in the first place.
Yep.
We'll go to you with this. Nippon here. Thanks for joining us, Nippon. Big up, brother. Nippon's got a question for us here. Would you ever celebrate Emile Smith Rowe, Jared Bowen, Mason Mount England goal? Ellie?
I wouldn't, because I don't give a shit anymore.
But that's about England in general, not specifically to these three players.
Would I ever celebrate their goals?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would. I celebrate all England goals. I don't care who scores them. Yep. Because at the end of the day, it's a goal. They're playing for England, not for their clubs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't. Well, I do hate Arsenal, with a passion, but I don't really. I suppose I don't. I dislike Chelsea in a way because of the way they went about their business, and they sort of took over with dirty money. But having said that, if one of their players scores, yes, I'm going to celebrate. Of course I will. I'm an England fan at the end of the day. And if we win the World Cup with one of their goals, yeah, of course, it's a goal. Yeah.
Fair enough.
That's all I've got to say.
I think pretty much quite a few people in the chat are agreeing with you, all except for
Yeah.
our American friend here, Jacob, holding too much anger over club loyalties in him. Mr. Dagil?
Yeah, listen, I like Ellie said, I always celebrate an England goal. They're wearing the 3 lions. The only thing I do when it comes to this is, let's say it gets to penalty shootouts like it did in the Euros final. I just pray it's not the Spurs player that misses the penalty because of the grief they get. Like when Saka, Rashford and Sterling missed those penalties, I felt horrible and awful for them, especially Saka and the abuse he got. No one deserves that. No one. This is country, not club. And I was so proud of the Spurs fans that clapped him when they did the friendly before last season. Yeah. That's the only thing. Yeah. When it's a penalty shootout, whenever it's a Spurs player, I say, please don't be the one that misses. Please don't be the one that misses. I don't want any of them to miss. I just don't want it to be the Tottenham player that misses the vital penalty. So that's the only time. But like I said, I don't wish it to happen. When Saka went to take that penalty, I wasn't like, oh, go on, miss it so I can rub it into the Gooners. I was cheering that guy on and admiring the balls at 19-year-old, or I think it was 19, maybe, to stand up and take that penalty. That took a hell of a lot of balls.
Yeah.
That's the only time where my club versus country thing comes in. It's just please don't be the Spurs player that misses the penalty.
I like Paul's comment here. He kind of just gives us the solution to it all right here. We're not scoring anyway, so don't worry about it. There's nothing to celebrate. So that being said, because of that, I would definitely be celebrating. Conte and Kay may be leaving in the summer. That sets us back years unless we spend big. So, that's pretty much what you were basically already talking about, and that's what it comes down to, the investment in the squad there. Where are we at here? Kuv's Arsenal player scores. Mind you, I think is overhyped. Yeah. What do you think of that?
I think he's quite a good player.
I like him. Yeah.
Has he played enough football yet? Possibly not. He's still sort of coming along, really, isn't he? I think he's definitely got some attacking talent to him. I quite like him. Trouble is, he's picked the wrong side, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's a good player. I'll tell you what, that game where Lamela scored the Rabona, he ripped us apart. He hit the bar within the first 5 minutes. He ripped us to shreds. He is a very... Arsenal, unfortunately, have got a good few youngsters coming through.
Yeah.
He is one of them. But you know what it is? Because of the last couple of seasons and how bad they were, they had to whack them in and play them as often as they could. Now with the transfer business they did in the summer, it's like, just remember, you're only 20, 21, whatever. You've played a hell of a lot of football for someone so young. Now we're going to use you properly and you will get your games, but not as frequent. He's a very good player. He's a very good player.
He's a baller. He can control the ball. He can dribble. He can score goals. He can link up play brilliantly with Odegaard. He's a danger. You've got to watch him because he's a nippy little sod as well. He can weave in and out. Do you know who he reminds me of? Paul Merson, but without so many goals.
Yeah.
There's so many
like him. Yeah.
Well,
Paul Merson was a very good player. And he reminds me of him. I don't like to praise Arsenal too much. I better shut up. Been praising them too much.
That's why I was trying to cut you off. I was like, I know it's getting late, Ellie. Like, come on, that's enough of this Arsenal praise bullshit around here. Okay?
Cut me off.
Kuva?
For the panel, Jacob saying, is the Saka applause allowed, but not the Dele Alli applause? Or where do you land with that? What am I comparing? What?
So basically, the way Dele Alli, I'm assuming, was applauded by us when he returned for his first game with Everton, the way we gave him the standing ovation and everything. But they're saying, but we're saying don't cheer for Saka when he's playing for England because he plays for Arsenal. So is it not? If you're applauding Saka when he's an Arsenal player, is it okay to applaud Dele Alli when he's an Everton player? I guess that's the way I would read that.
Or maybe he's saying because he missed the penalty, are we applauding him because we feel sorry for him? And comparing that to Delhi, I don't know. This maybe you can clarify
reword your
that.
question, Jacob.
Yeah,
terrible grammar. Clarify. Dagil, what do you take from that?
Americans are very deep.
So I'll be brutally honest here. If I had been at White Hart Lane for that Everton game, I would not have applauded Delhi. I would not have applauded Delhi for and the reason Saka got those applauds was because he stood up as a 19-year-old to have the balls when other players, senior players, that should have stood and said, no, let me do this. If we get down the line, you take it. He stood up for his country after coming on as a sub, and I'm always one of those that substitutes that come on in the last few minutes to take a penalty because you think they're attacking players that can do it doesn't always work. Doesn't always work. They need to get proper minutes in their legs, whatever, soak up the atmosphere, soak up everything. I don't know a lot of 19-year-olds that would have stuck up in his position and said, do something in front of 90,000 people. And if you foul, the whole nation is going to be absolutely furious with you, or a large majority or whatever. Dele Alli, who when we signed him, I used to speak to a load of my Arsenal friends back home who were going, how you sign someone from League One? I was like, watch this guy tear it up.
Yeah.
This guy has got all the talent in the world and is going to be a superstar. And for 2 years, he was.
Yeah,
then for 3 years, or however long it was, he went missing. And when all these TikTok videos came out, the big bong and all that shit, when his game was falling apart, it was just like, no. So I personally wouldn't have, because he stayed for 5 years or whatever it was. For 2 years, he was phenomenal. For 3 years, he was not. If it had been the other way round, oh yeah, I'd have applauded him. But he had everything. Do you know what? I don't know if people have seen that movie, The Meme Machine, with Vinnie Jones, where he's in prison and the guard. He stays in the room with the old. He stays in the room with the old Irishman, and Vinnie Jones says, "Why is everyone looking at me and hating me?" And he turns around and says, "Because you had everything, and you threw it all away."
Yeah.
These people. That's the thing. Yeah. We all dream of earning his money, having the life he does, having the luxuries he lived in, and to wear that Spurs shirt and walk on that hallowed turf. And he just dropped everything. So for me, whether I come in for flack from that or whatever, I would not have applauded that. I understand why people did. I personally wouldn't have.
Yeah, I'm with Brian on that one.
Yeah.
I thought I was never a big Dele Alli fan in the first place. I always saw him as a player that, unless he's scoring a goal, he offers very little to the team. But the goals were coming, though, in those first 2 seasons. Well, even in the third season, he was scoring goals regularly. And that does, of course, give you some value to the team. But for me, I've never been a fan. Never. Not compared to the likes of Ericsson in his prime. I'd take Ericsson any day of the week over him. I think the Saka abuse that he got was disgusting, and I'm glad we stuck up for him and gave him a round of applause. That's beyond football. That's just showing that you appreciate somebody as a human being. Dele Alli, it's up to people if they want to applaud him on the way when he comes back to the ground. I'm not bothered. The last couple of years he was here with us, you'd say he's stealing a wage. He just did nothing. I think Brian's spot on. He said if it had been the other way round and he left on a stellar note, playing blinding football, totally different matter then, isn't it? It's the way you leave. It's quite often the way you leave a club defines how you're treated on the way back. Look at Judas.
Well, when you look at it, the other way to look at it is we were just talking about Vincent Janssen playing in Mexico.
Yeah.
This kid who was at one point touted to be the next superstar of England, lead England to glory.
100 million Real Madrid. Geez.
He's now playing in Turkey. Everton got rid of him after half a season.
Yeah, it's crazy. Koovs, I got 2 starred talking points there. Let's go through them, and then we'll bring up our last talking point, and then time for Koovs to run his game.
Fair enough.
Right.
One from Jay. I never rated Ali, but all he did was arrive late, could not tackle, could not pass, did not have a great shot, no pace, was not strong, offered nothing other than arriving late in the box. Yeah, it's pretty much what I saw with it. He did have some bags of tricks and stuff. The nutmegs were always fun to watch. And some of the quality of the goals was great. I mean, the one against Palace.
Can I just add on to this? Mm-hmm. What I think was actually the decline of him, a lot of people say it was when Eriksson left, which I understand because Eriksson was his ammunition for everything. But we didn't find a replacement for Eriksson, so we dropped him back into the centre of midfield. Mm. And we moved him out of his prime position. Rather than adding, and I don't mean go get Fernandes or go get another, we just said, right, because Eriksson's gone and because of this, we need you more here. And we asked him to do too much. Don't get me wrong, his attitude stunk and whatever, but Eriksson leaving and not finding another playmaker to help him find him when he makes these runs was a big problem. But most of it was his attitude.
Fair. Fair.
I wanna chip in on the Dele Alli.
Yeah, go for it, Ellie. Right. Go for it. Of course.
I disagree with a lot of what has been said in regards to his talent. I thought he was so highly talented, and the link-up play, he gave more than goals. He did, because his link-up play with Eriksson was magic. But I think Eriksson did make him look better than he actually was overall because of Eriksson's skill, and the way he used to find Dele Alli all the time. They had a good understanding, those two. They were superb. For a year and a half, they were fantastic. And that goal he scored against Crystal Palace, that was world class. And all the goals that he scored, he was the quickest one to get to 50 goals, I believe. Right? So it was the goals, but it was also his general play. He had the cockiness about him. He had shithousery about him.
Swag,
he had an edge to his play. Yeah. And when I think after the Champions League final, even the FA Cup semi-final against Man United when he had scored, it just seemed to take the stuffing out of him. He sort of went on a slide, like a depressive slide, like he didn't want to try anymore. And then Eriksson left, and then he didn't have nobody to link up with. And then his game fell apart, and then he just lost all interest, and he was just into his social media stuff. But I genuinely think this is coming from my heart now, because I loved him as a player for those 2 seasons. He offered a lot more than goals, and I just feel that his general play was fabulous.
No, you're right about that there. We've got this here as well, Koovs, that we were asked a little while ago, Paul. Sorry we took so long to get to this here. So I only left this, Paul, because this is going to be our last talking point that we're getting into. So this kind of leads us into it.
Yeah, fair enough. Paul's asking, would you start Spence and Basuma against the Woolwich? I know Conte won't play Spence, but he had a great game for the under-21s.
He did.
For me, yeah, all day long. I'll be quite happy seeing a 3-5-2 as well. I'll be quite happy seeing Spence as the wing back on the right. Just because I just think Emerson is an awful player.
Fair enough. Mr. Dagil, what do you think? Basuma and Spence into the field, starting against.
So Basuma for me 1 billion %, because I want to see a 3-5-2. And if we do go 3-5-2, he starts over Skip. If it's see with a 3-5-2, like I said, I'd like to see Kulu there, because I think he can do the job in a 5-man midfield. If it was 3-4-3, I really do want to see Spence, but this game, although he's played well against Arsenal in the FA Cup, I don't think this is the game to start springing debuts on people. I really, if it had been a White Hart Lane, maybe. This game, you got to look at it. Conte doesn't even mention him. doesn't even mention him when he talks about wing backs. So can you imagine he's probably low on confidence, although he's played, like Paul said, very well for the under-21s. I said this earlier. I don't see him starting. If the Carabao Cup hadn't been again because of the World Cup, he would have played in that. He would have played in September, October, whatever the amount of rounds there were. But I don't see him playing until the Carabao Cup as a starter. And then after the World Cup, and he's had that month to work with him religiously, if he gets the chance, he'll take it. I just don't know if I'd risk him as a start. I'd have him on the bench and bring him on for sure. Start, I just don't know. But Basuma 100%. But I do believe Spence is going to become a player for us and will be the first choice.
Yeah.
So what do you think, Ellie?
Right, yeah. Do you know what? I remember Danny Rose, right? He played his debut against Arsenal and scored that worldy goal, right? So it could go either way. But me personally, I would play him, but I don't think Conte will. And the reason why I would play him, because he offers pace. He'll terrorise the Arsenal back. They're not that good, the Arsenal back four. They're not that good. They're not that clever. The only one you could put your hat on is Gabriel. But even he can be suspect sometimes. Yeah, Saliba, he's a new boy. He's fitted in very well, but he hasn't really been tested yet against a better side. And we definitely are better side. So I personally feel that he could be blooded, but I don't think Conte will, because he's sort of quite a loyal manager, and he probably sees Emerson as not doing that much wrong. He sticks to what he's told to do, right, which is basically doing the basics, because Conte knows his limitations, and he just gives him an instruction: don't do too much, son. Just keep it safe. Don't lose the ball too often, you know. And he just pats him on the back at the end of the match, because he's done exactly what he's told to do, because he knows that he's not good enough, but he has to work with him. And I think he feels that Spence might not be ready yet in terms of what he wants out of him. But to tell you the truth, Spence is better. He's a better player than Emerson, 100%. So I would blood him.
The other thing to add to that is, obviously, if Conte, or if the deal had been done quicker, we know this was the one deal that took God knows how long.
Yeah.
Conte may have had him for a lot longer in pre-season to assess him and gauge him. This was done whilst we were in Korea, so we came back and it was like pretty much, right, let's start the season. So that could have something to do with it as well. But like he's got all the talent. He's got all the talent.
Yeah. My mum used to say we're the 50,000 year club. That's why I said the 50,000 years. We take 50,000 years to do things. We're very slow at doing things at Spurs. Just get a move on, get players in, you know, and start being a big club, acting like big club, and matching the ambition of our star players. Idiots.
Sure, you're asking for a bit much now.
If I went down there, I'd have them on a skewer, you know, like a good Greek-style souvlaki. Give them a good spanking and all.
Oh, yes.
I'll start with Levy's ass.
An entirely different subscription channel there, I think.
Yep. Now we're getting into late night.
Sorry, I grew up with 7
boys.
Now
you think
I
you're
know
on
I use that as an old cliche. I grew up with 7 boys. I'm well corrupted.
Oh, just a little.
How close are you exactly?
No, I mean, you know when you grow up with men.
Oh no.
Women all around the world, if you've got brothers, you know what I mean.
The Cuvs will bring up this last question.
Right, that's pretty much a universal thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And I had 7 of them to contemplate. Yeah.
So we've got this last question here from Carl here.
Last question from Carl. Taking emotion out of it, do you think Skip is a little overhyped by the Spurs fans? Yes, of course.
100%. He's crap.
Of course,
Yeah,
he's got loads to learn. He's a young lad.
Yeah.
He's got loads of potential. He's got a great attitude. I think he'll become a great player for us, but he's not the finished product at the moment. And I think people do get a bit carried away and assuming he's going to be, the main man going into straight away this season. I think he's in the future. He will be, but he's not quite there yet.
So he's one for the future, like Kuv said already, sort of. You have to say he's overhyped because the way we talk about him, you'd think he's already, Kevin De Bruyne. The way you hear some people go on about him. Now, of course, we want to give him the praise because he's finished the season so well, and we had such high expectations to start the season. But now we've had that delayed with the unfortunate injury he picked up in preseason. So hopefully, when we get him back, he hits the ground running for us and actually can accomplish big things. What do you guys think?
After you, Elly.
I think the sign of a great player is the player that raises their game against better opposition. Right, so he played really well against Leicester. And we know Leicester were like on the downer last season. They were coming on a trajectory downwards rather than upwards. I want to see him perform against the Liverpools, the Man Cities, the Chelseas. I want to see him grind out a fantastic performance, and then I can give him some credence. Until I see that, the jury's out, especially with me. Because I love him as a player because he's all Tottenham. He's all heart. He'll play for the badge. That's what we want. All right. But you've got to raise your game more than that level. You can't just be all passion and all fire. And you've got to have the skill set to be able to cope with the Liverpools and the Man Cities. And if we are to challenge, he has to rise to the bait. So I want to see him progress. But he has to get the chance. And he's not getting the chance at the moment because Benny and Højbjerg have sealed their positions. And then you've got Basuma. And then you've got the fact that he's carrying injuries. So, it's whether Conte trusts him enough to throw him in, and give him his chance.
Yeah, we're not seeing it with Spence, so it'll be interesting. But he relied on him a little bit towards the end of the season. So I think he's got a better chance of getting in there than Spence does.
True.
Brian?
Yeah. Okay, I'll be very quick with this. Is he overhyped? Hell fucking no. Hell no. Listen, this guy was Norwich Player of the Year and Championship Player of the Year. Yeah. Played every single minute of every single game till he got his metatarsal done, so he missed the last couple of games. He's come back to Spurs, and of course, Dr. Tottenham, injury galore. But I always say with these kind of players, you don't realise how important they are till they don't play. When we lost 3-0 to Chelsea last season, again, these guys were under Nuno. He was not on the pitch. Our midfield looked atrocious. When we went to the Emirates and lost 3-1, he wasn't on the pitch. We looked atrocious. When he got injured after the Leicester game, which was his last game, until Bentancur came, our midfield looked atrocious. And when people say he's the big I am, he's going all the way, that may be a little bit. But Spurs fans that know there is a real talent there, and obviously the injuries haven't helped him. Conte idolises him. Jose idolised him. This guy is not underrated or overrated at all. This is without my Tottenham hat on. With my Tottenham hat on, I love the bones of him. I think he's a superstar in the making, but he is a Tottenham captain in the making. He is. I think he's special, and like I said, hopefully with this competition that he's got, he'll up his game even more to try and get into the first team.
Yeah,
I think it's been
to that.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, just want to add, because he did come on in the second half in that Arsenal game when we were losing 3-0, and he made a difference. He really did make a difference. And you saw Højbjerg link up well with him, and he'd done one crunching tackle on Saka to say, I'm here, mate. You failed my play. I'm getting you back. That's why I like him, because he's a Tottenham boy through and through. And Steve Perryman said something very poignant. Don't underestimate your homegrown talent, because they will fight for you. And you need fight. You do need fight. It's
Yeah,
not just
100%.
about talent as well.
Yeah.
If you've got the talent like Dele Alli but no fight, what's the point of having the talent?
Yeah.
Like Nodambelli, all the talent, no fight. But Skip's
No
got
heart,
both.
no fight, no nothing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think you're right, Ellie. I think
agree
heart
with
makes up. For
Brian.
me, I'll respect and rate a player that tries and fails versus one that
Yeah.
doesn't try, because that pisses me off more. Seeing, like Brian already touched on with the whole Dele Alli thing.
Yeah.
That's what pisses us off.
Yeah.
That we know you have all the talent in the world, but you just choose to ignore it and throw it away. So we are getting late over here, so we'll try to run through this here quickly. Thank you for staying so late with us here, guys. So we'll just do this one real quick here. What do you think, Ellie? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Are we getting a result in Goonerville?
Yes.
Oh, Kuv's the only thumbs down, so you get to go first. Is that why you did thumbs down, just so you could go first?
Yeah, that's right.
No,
I'll just
and you in the chat, guys. There's 30 of you in here. By all means, you want to throw your thumbs up, thumbs down. Let's see what your hopes and prayers are for this weekend. Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, Tottenham hat on. Yeah, of course we're going to get a result there, but I always say that. But the fact is, we are appalling when we go to their place.
Yep.
We always are. They always turn up, and we don't.
Yep.
We need to turn that around, and we also need to break them out of the way they're playing at the moment. We need to up our game massively, and we need to destroy their game at the same time. It's possible. I just don't see it. I just don't see us playing consistently good football. Consistently, we're not like picking up all these points because we deserve all of them. We're scraping points together. Are we going to be doing that at their place with the record we've got? I wish it was different, but it's the same as like when we go to Stamford Bridge, isn't it? I mean that result we got there was daylight robbery, but I mean I'll take it. Yeah, sure. If we get 2 at the Emirates, I'll be happy with that, to be honest. But for us to win there, we've really got to be on top form. We've got to smother their game and no mistakes. And are we the sort of team that makes no mistakes? Not from what I see.
So far, okay.
It's a big shout, but of course it's football. It's always doable. And at some point you have to break these losing streaks or the streaks where you're not winning at a certain team. We went 73 years without winning at Anfield, and then suddenly popped up with almost regularly winning that for about 3 times in about 10 years or something. But it's there for the taking. Records are meant to be broken, and it'll be a nice time to turn things around. I just don't see it happening.
I like the way how you almost talked yourself into a thumbs up and then right at the end said, no, I'm still keeping it down. That was brilliant. Well, Tom is saying we have to one day. A lot of thumbs up, though, but you do have Kim's agreeing with you. She doesn't fare well there, and the thumbs are down. So I guess we'll just have to hope and pray that we get it done. The rest of you went with the thumbs up. Brian, you think we'll get a result there?
Yeah, because of 2 words, Antonio Conte. If we put in performances,
I love it.
If we put in performances like we have the last few years, we know Antonio Conte has given them a rocket up their arse in some games this season when it's been poor. I would be shitting myself to go into that dressing room at half-time if we haven't put in a shift in, and at full-time if we lose. I would be petrified. So I think he is just, and let's face it, he is a big-time manager for the big-time games. And that is my hope. 2 words, Antonio Conte.
All right, Ellie. 2 words from you.
How can I follow that? All I can do is put my cockerel out and say,
put your what out?
You Spurs.
Oh,
my
cockerel.
cockerel.
Oh, cockerel, thank God.
Right, come on, you Spurs. Do it
Come
for
on,
our club.
Spurs.
Do it because we've had years and years of depression at their ground. I don't want to be depressed come Saturday, whenever it finishes. It kicks off at 12:30. I want to have a smile on my face. I want to be happy for once, and I'll be cheering outside in the streets if we win, because that's what I do. I do it the Greek style. I just want us to play well as well, but win in style, and actually batter their asses. I want to win 3 or 4-0. That would be an excellent result. And I just want them to squirm and all their fans to leave the library really early.
I think you've inspired Kuva, because that's the biggest smile I've seen on him all night.
Yeah.
Kuva just jumped on the Elly train. Choo choo.
Gooners squirming, all day long.
Just leaving the ground, and we're saying, "Why are you leaving so early?" What's the song they sing? Is there a fire drill? 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 I want to be singing that. Come on, you Spurs.
Damn right. Damn right. Well, guys, we are getting to the end of the show. You've got through all the hard part. You got through a little bit of fun with my game. Now it's time for you did the Kang. Now it's time for the Kuvs. So hopefully you're ready for Kuv to take over here.
If everybody's got time for it still.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
For 5 minutes, we should be able to whip through this. So this is quick, pretty simple. It's called Spot the Bull. Kuva is going to give you 3 stories. One is real, one has come up from this crazy mind, and one has come up from that crazy mind. So you have to pick which one is real, which one is Kuv's, and which one is the Kang's. Pretty simple. So if you are ready, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado. It's time for you to spot the bull here. Check the circuit, Koobs. Check the circuit. What is that story?
Check the circuit. Oh, hang on. We're doing this in a slightly different title of thought. Okay.
You want to bring up your banners then? And I'll sit back and I'll do the sport.
I'm going to give three stories with a similar theme, first of all. And obviously, as Bobby explained, one's real and the other 2 are false. You'll have to you get a point for getting the real one. You also get a point if you guess which one of the false ones was by which person. So you'll either end up with like 0 points, 1 point, or 3 points.
Yes, 0, 1 is 3, or is the only one you can score it. I'm going to stop touching buttons on this side. I will use my trusty pen and let you bring up the banner so I don't mix things up on you, buddy.
Oh no, I prefer you brought up the banners actually.
All right then. Okay, so let's start with check the circuit then.
Okay, well, good to check the circuit. Okay. In July 2018, a Circuit City employee in Franklin, Tennessee, was fired on the spot for hacking all the store televisions to get revenge on his now ex-girlfriend. The young man proceeded to hack all 748 televisions in the store and play a homemade video he had of his ex-girlfriend doing a striptease for him while they were together. He was immediately fired and police called, but no charges were filed.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's the first one.
That's number 1.
Okay.
Second one.
Screen time.
In August 2018, homeowners in Enrico, Virginia. Henrico, is it? Or Enrico?
Henrico. It's Han.
In Virginia. No, in Virginia. Wherever it's in Virginia, anyway.
Yeah.
Woke to find that old television sets had been left on their porches in the night. The eerie delivery only got creepier when home security footage revealed that they'd been delivered by an ominous visitor. The figure sported a navy jumpsuit and gloves and masked its face with what appeared to be an actual TV. Before leaving, it turned to the security cameras and waved. Police have collected 52 TVs, but are still baffled as what the motive might have been.
So this guy broke into people's porches and left TVs. Nice.
Left TVs for no apparent reason while he was
hopefully
dressed
this guy can
with
break
a TV
into my
mask.
neighborhood. 70, 75-inch or bigger flat screen would be nice for the basement here. Thank you if you're watching, Keith. Yeah,
These were old TVs though. And finally, for this section, Hooked on Cinema. As part of a series of Jaws 3D screenings in Key West, Florida, during late 1989, local angling enthusiasts started a trend of wearing their fishing gear to the screenings to add a little extra color to proceedings. The practice was soon banned by cinema owners and police due to the amount of injuries caused by viewers being snagged by hooks. One local fisherman exclaimed, "I had a 202-pound redneck hooked, but the son of a bitch gave me a black eye."
So there you go. Now, folks, do we have the issues being at Circuit City with the young man playing his video on all the TVs, was it? And then we have this one was the one with all the TVs that were left on the porch. And this is the Jaws one that Kuva just gave you. So, Elly, is Check the Circuit true? Kuva's or the Kang's?
True.
That's the one you say is true.
Yeah.
Mr. Dagil?
True.
So you both say that one's true. Okay.
I read it, so I'm sure my daughter Angela told me about that.
Okay. Screen Time. The story with the TVs being left on the porch by a burglar. Brian?
Reverse burglar.
Yeah, reverse burglar. The putterer.
I'm saying that's you, Bobby.
You're saying that one's me. Okay. And Elly? With Screen Time, the one where the burglar left the TVs on the porch. Since you already said true to the first one, is this one Kuv or the Kang?
I'd say it's false.
Yeah, but who made it up? Me or Kuva?
Kuva.
Kuva made that one up. Okay. And then since you said Kuva on the last one, it's safe to say you think I made up this cinema story about Jaws, right?
You say that to me?
Yeah, because you picked. You said true to that one.
Yeah.
You said Kuva to that one, which means that's me. And same thing with you, Brian. That means this one becomes Kuva's, right?
The fishing one, Kuva. Yeah,
the fishing one is Kuva's. Brian Dagil, congratulations, sir. You got 1 point. The Check the Circuit story is actually completely false and bullshit, which was made up by this mad imagination. The second story of Screen Time, where a burglar actually left packages on the porch, is our true story. As crazy as that sounds, somebody went around leaving TVs on people's porches.
52 television.
52 TVs.
Maybe that's the one.
For your viewing pleasure. And of course, Hooked on Cinema, like Brian guessed, is one concoction from my mad genius beside me. So, Mr. Dagil, round one, you've got the first point. On to round two. Koovs, are you ready for round two?
I am indeed.
Well, then let's get it out.
I've got 7 minutes. Well,
then stop talking and answer the questions.
Okay, we'll go through it. Oh, three stories.
All 7 minute warning.
All a similar thing.
We'll get it done.
We're going for Homer chills out first. During a 2015 chili eating contest in San Antonio, Texas, one of the contestants, Hank Milford, jokingly claims that he could eat a fabled Guatemalan insanity pepper, which was made famous on an episode of The Simpsons. Little to his knowledge, the said pepper actually exists, albeit originating from northern India, and on one of the stalls actually had a supply. Hank disappeared into the crowd after devouring the chili, clearly in discomfort. Paramedics were called to his house the next morning to discover him in tears, straddling the sink with his underwear around his ankles.
So there you go. That is quite an interesting one there. Homer chills out. A spicy discovery. When
citizens of Aylesbury, England, found a large orange bird that was having trouble flying in early July, they thought they'd discovered an exotic creature in peril. Upon bringing it to the wildlife hospital, though, they found out it was the animal's bold behavior that had led it to its bold color. The distressed bird was a seagull that had managed to get itself covered in curry. Seagulls are inquisitive by nature and are known to put themselves in similarly spicy situations. Thankfully, a couple of baths returns it to its naturally unseasoned state.
Lovely. There's an Indian.
That was a spicy discovery.
Very spicy. And then the last one here is Ring My Bell.
Ring my bell. This is customers at a local Taco Bell in Fort Worth, Texas, got a very special dinner treat during the holidays in 2021. One evening, famed Mexican chef Juan Marita Gonzalez was in the area and visited the local establishment. He was so disappointed with the food that he offered to go into the kitchen and prepare his own meal. The restaurant owner recognized Gonzalez and gladly obliged. Gonzalez proceeded to make his own meal as well as the meals for all of the diners in the restaurant.
Interesting. Okay, so there you go, folks. You got the chili issue here. We've got the duck that likes to eat curry, and we've got the Mexican superstar chef that comes in and cooks for himself and everybody else because the food at Taco Bell is shit. Brian, Homer chills out. True, Kang, or the Kuv?
Kuv.
Elly, true, Kuv, or the Kang?
The Kang.
Second one, Spicy Discovery. This is the I'm sorry, Brian, what did you say with the first one?
Kuva.
Kuva, you said with the first one. Okay. And this one is the Spicy Discovery.
This is the seagull covered in curry.
The seagull covered in curry because he ate curry. Elly, do seagulls eat curry in England?
I'm going to say true for the Kuv, isn't it? Is it
you say true for this one? Okay.
Yeah.
Brian?
Kang.
So this is mine. So that means by default, ring my bell. Elly, you said this one becomes my story then, right?
Yeah.
Homer chills out one. The chili one is my story? Or did you say, yeah, you said that was mine. You said this was true. So that becomes my story then. Okay.
No, then ring my bell becomes my story.
Your story. Sorry. Yeah. You know what I mean. You, me,
and it becomes true for me.
And it becomes true for you then. No, because you had Kuva here. Spicy Discovery, you said, was...
You.
Oh, you said that's me.
Yep.
And Elly said that was you.
So you said this is me, and then you're saying this is true.
Yes.
Okay. So you both got a point each. So Homer chills out is actually made up from my mad genius over here. The Spicy Discovery is the true story. In fact, seagulls do like curry and eat it to the point where they cover themselves in it. So curry is a great dish.
My points have come from Kuva. Thanks, Kuv.
There you go, buddy. So, and ring my bell. Well, I like tacos, so what can I say? On to the last and final round, round 3.
I can't wait. I've got to go. I have to go. I've got something to deal
win
with.
by default.
So
Elly wins by default. We'll do it with
you,
Elly.
She's 1 point behind me. She's got the chance to take over. So
she does.
I'll leave it with that. Guys, thank you so much for having me on.
Tell everybody where they can find you quick, bud.
They can find me at Tottenham on tour. We're on the race for 5,000. I think we're 20 away now. But most importantly, people should love this channel here because you do wonderful things and nice and light-hearted, as well as Elly's channel. But guys, listen, take care. Love you all. Speak soon. And as always, Levy out.
Cheers, brother. Thanks for coming.
He's gone.
All right, so the pressure's on.
Pressure's on now, Elly.
Yeah, the pressure's on. Oh, no. I like pressure. I'm Greek. We handle pressure very well.
But are you ready then, Elly, for round 3?
The Olympics. Come on. We invented
and
the
again,
Olympics.
it's going to be 3 stories, all with a similar theme. We're starting off with Double Trouble. In March, a single mother in the Brazilian state of Goiás, I'm guessing, I'm butchering the name, I expect, went to court to secure child support payments from a deadbeat dad. In the end, she got twice what she bargained for. The child's DNA matched that of a set of identical twins, each of whom denied being the father. The twins' attempts to shirk responsibility were thwarted, however, when Judge Felipe Luis Peruca ordered that both men pay up and be listed as the youngster's parent giving her 2 dads for the price of 1. So basically, DNA proved 2 fathers.
Okay.
I read that one out so badly. Never mind. We'll go on to
read this one out even worse then.
we're on to duplicitous by law. Paducah, Kentucky, in 1980 saw an extraordinary set of events in the courtroom. On the same day, Judge Candace Clementine passed sentence on twin brothers for separate burglary offences. In each case, each man was arrested by an officer Deisler. Amazingly, the officers were also twins. Upon passing sentence, Judge Clementine wryly smiled and exclaimed, "You know, my twin brother Marvin usually acts as bailiff, and I'm sure he'll be sad to miss this little gathering."
Okay.
Interesting.
Right.
So we went from twin dads, twin brothers, twin cops, and dad next.
Yeah, hello, dad next. In February 2014, Chantel Wilson was left embarrassed yet again after her 18th paternity test to find her child's father was also negative. Chantel had dragged 17 other men to clinics for paternity tests from court orders. She had claimed all of these men could have potentially been the father's child, and each time claimed she was 100% sure of the father's identity. 18 failed tests later would say that she might never know the true father's identity.
Wow.
Oh,
18 tests. So, Ellie, do we got two dads? We got the twin cops, and then we got the lady that can't figure out who the dad is. So, is twin dads real, Kuvs, or the Kangs?
The Kangs.
And now we move on to the twin brothers. The police brothers. What is this? Is this
The Kuvs.
this is the Kuvs?
That's the one I think is true.
That's the one you think is true, or the Kuvs?
Yeah, because it's so. Oh, right. So if it's true, would it be yours?
No.
No, there's one true one.
No.
There's
One
that
true
Bobby's-
one.
Yeah.
I made one up, and Kuva made one up.
Yeah.
There's
so
three
I'm
of them,
saying
right?
that
So
one's
there's
true.
1, 2, and
The
3.
second one.
Okay.
You're saying
Going
the
for
second
the,
one is
So
true.
that,
Okay.
that one is true.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's so far fetched, it's got to be true.
Okay. And then you're
The
saying
other
this
one,
one
I just
then.
don't believe.
And then the dad, the lady that's taking all the
I
paternity
just
tests.
I can't believe the DNA would go wrong 18 times. Come on.
She just keeps
if that's-
testing, guys.
If that's true, then I'm going to leave the country.
so you
I'm leaving
said
the country.
you said I made up the first one, right? The double trouble one?
Yeah.
The dad's
yeah.
one. So that means you're saying Kuva made up the last one. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
Ellie, you got all 3 wrong.
Oh, I'm leaving the country.
Double-
Brian wins
Kuva's-
without even being here for the last round.
Yeah, but he
Kuv-
left, so he's technically
Cooper's very good
disqualified.
Cooper's too good at telling lies.
He is. Kuva, you want to run those
He
down?
keeps
Which
a
one's
straight
which?
face.
I could work for the press office at that. No.
You can.
Oh,
You just don't flinch.
You want to run those down, Kuva? Let everybody know whose is what.
Yeah, the first, the one with 18 paternity tests, that was indeed Bobby's little masterpiece.
Yeah.
Although I think I've seen that episode on Geraldo or something.
Maury Povich.
I think that one was
That's it,
You
true.
Maury.
are the father. Yeah,
Yes,
I got it
First
because I
one, it
watched
was
one girl
true.
come on. One girl
Um,
came on, Ellie, and she tested 13 men, and she was a 22 or 23-year-old girl, and all
Yeah.
13 tests came back negative because she didn't know who the father was. So she just kept, oh, well, I screwed him. 13 different tests. All
I don't
you're
know
not
how
the father. And
I
every
don't
time
know
she's like,
how
I'm
people
a
remember.
100%. He the father of my baby. 100%. He's the father. And then Maury reads it out. He is not the father. They go running off stage. It is
Yeah.
brilliant television.
Classic viewing.
Great viewing.
Yeah, I'll have to look up that one. Is that on YouTube? I'll have a look up.
Oh, yeah. Maury Povich. I'll send you a link. Don't worry.
I know him. I like the ones when he does the male. You've got to guess the male and the female, the sex change ones. I love that one.
Look who's decided to join us.
Time is
Big
God.
K's in the house.
Oh,
Hello, my son.
God.
You're not allowed to watch the show. What the fuck?
That is false. Dyer is not God. Can I get a point for that?
Oh, well, which order did we read them out? The second one, I think, was
sorry. Yeah, that was yours.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the
the
one I think was true.
Duplicitous by law. Yeah, the two brothers, the twin brothers that were arrested by twin cops, and the judge had a twin brother who would have been the bailiff but wasn't there that day. I did, in fact, make that one up.
Yeah, 4 sets of twins in one courtroom. You know,
Little
Kuva's making that shit up.
You kept a straight face.
And this is, in fact, the true one. As crazy as this one sounds, Ellie.
It's the the single mother who got a DNA test, and the court decided that both twin brothers would be the father, and they both had to pay.
Yeah,
they both had to pay because nobody was paying.
They couldn't separate it. Oh no!
Joey knows what I'm talking about.
Into that one, yeah.
Yeah, you gotta watch it. Well, folks, that is the conclusion for this week's episode of Kuv and the Kang. Hopefully, you enjoyed our new debut video, our new backdrop, our special guests, and of course, the biggest guest that we here. Kuv, thanks for joining me again. I love you, man. Okay. And we had a lovely evening with you guys.
Thank you, Ellie. And thank you for being Ellie being online all this time.
The whole time after the beginning magic
trick. The whole time. You watched that film
at the beginning.
Mrs. Doubtfire? Yeah, that's true. But that was a technical hitch. That wasn't anything to do with...
We'll forgive it. We can forgive it. Koovs, yeah?
You've got to forgive the woman.
She lost at the games anyway, so
I've got my cockerel on my shirt. So
you got to stop pulling your cockerel out. We're trying to wrap up the show, okay? Put your cockerel back in your pants, Ellie. God, I hope T didn't hear that.
Don't give my secrets away now. Don't give my secrets away.
T's going to hear that and come storming down the stairs. What the hell is this Bobby boy talking to you about? Koovs, any final thoughts? Oh, sorry, Ellie, why don't you tell us where everybody can find you?
Yeah, you can find me here. You can find me on THFC Till I Die. We've got some exciting shows coming up. I won't let you know all of them, but we've got the North London Derby bragging rights on Wednesday, which is going to be superb. So we've got some Arsenal fans coming on, and we're going to challenge them.
Nice.
Slice and dice them.
Nice.
And then we've got a really exciting one coming on Friday, but I can't tell you about it. So I'm going to leave you hanging.
Secrets.
Like a good woman does. And then on Sunday we've got a really good show as well. We've got the we're going to show the 1984 UEFA Cup win. But what we're going to do, we'll probably condense it because it is a 2-hour match, and on a watch along, 2 hours may be too long.
You just did 2 hours with us, so you'll be fine.
That was great.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Koovs, George has got a question for us here to wrap up with.
George saying, thanks for the great show, guys. When are you guys on next? Well, this is our Sunday slot. So
Sunday slot.
It is.
Yeah.
We're in there.
Sunday.
Gorgeous.
Monday.
Won't say anything about Kuva sliding into the three Spurs boys.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
No, see, exactly. It's just the way.
You know, we made it all the way to the end of the show.
Kuva and the cat. Yeah, let's face it.
There was no whipping out my cockerel.
Yeah, that's true too. She's been whipping out her cockerel in front of the three Spurs boys on in front of the kids' pictures too. She just keep pulling her cockerel out. My God, terrible.
Do you notice that Højbjerg kisses the badge a lot? He does.
Can you blame him?
It's a dream. It's a dream of most men to be able to kiss their own cock.
There you go.
Yeah, that is
Koovs,
very true.
You got anything coming up this week, big guy?
Oh yeah.
Well, little Kuva be popping up this week.
We'll just see who's going to be on this week, won't we? I mean, there's Ben's coffee shop if he's well enough.
Yeah, hopefully he'll
big up Ben, by the way.
Yeah,
he was in comments tonight anyway. Despite being poorly.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we don't know. Well, Spurs going to be on Thursday. Who knows?
The return. The married man is back.
And then looking after that in the wall, Bob Spur we don't know. There's lots of things potentially changing around soon a little bit.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
But we'll see. If not, it's back here on Sunday.
That's it. Worst case scenario, you'll have to wait a full week to see Kuva. That's it. But at least he'll be beside me right here.
We've got our curry night on the 2nd of October as well. You know,
we got a what?
Curry night. We've got our curry night on the 2nd of October.
I love the way she says our curry night. Like you're going to come 800 miles and I'm going to come 3,000 miles to just go for a curry.
Shit.
The last time that duck, I'm going to end up that duck spilling the curry all over me. Don't worry about it, George. Don't worry about it. We're not going to be. You're not going to need us next Sunday to bring you up, buddy. You're gonna need to join us to celebrate, baby.
If that happens and it is a loss, I don't think we do any football at all. On that. Just do games.
Yeah, we're gonna have to just completely thumbs up, thumbs down all the games, and it'll be all thumbs down, and then that's it.
Spot Ellie's cock and that sort of game.
No comment. No comment. On that note, thanks for joining us this evening, folks. You have yourselves a lovely end to your weekend and a start to your week. Have a beautiful week, and we'll see you next week. See you next week, Kuv. You back? Yeah, we're back.
We're next week, mate.
Okay. Yeah, we'll be back next week. It's been confirmed. That's it for this week's folks. Thanks for joining us. Kuv and the Kang are out. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
We sang in France, we sang in Spain, we sing in the sun and we sing in the rain. They tried to stop us, but they didn't. The thing we love most is being a kid, being a kid, being a kid. The thing we love most is being a kid.
Come on, you Spurs.
Make sure to like and subscribe.